Right now at 5, snowmaking systems are moving in, when they start and what else they're bringing.
Plus, the city reopens Burns Park. What's behind the surprise move? We're live with the answer.
Watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 5.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for News 8 Now at 5. I'm Emily Brown.
And I'm Ken Kozarowski. We'll get ready for a mix of winter weather.
That's right. Let's head outside. A system packing snow and rain is moving in. So when does it start and when does it end? Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Greg Barnhart. Greg.
Well, we have certainly many systems. For tonight's one, but then tomorrow's a more significant system that really involves a lot more precipitation type. So we have alert days for tomorrow. This is the one for tomorrow afternoon, for tomorrow evening. Basically, we're seeing hazardous travel due to snowfall. Now, where you are is going to depending on what you're going to get. So north of I-90, it's definitely going to be a snow. We're going to have a mix between I-94 and 90. And if you're south of I-90, could be rain, freezing rain, maybe turning back to snow. Less precipitation as you go further south, and that involves snow, rain, or ice more towards the north. So really we're going to deal with a lot of conditions going on. Right now, we don't have a lot going on with cloud cover. We have a south wind out there, 17 degrees or the lower 20s. We have snow tonight. This is a system that's going to come through and produce snow. So we still got this first to track through the area, and you can see it's just coming up on the picture. So later on the broadcast, we'll track this amount of snow and then give you an idea what's going to come up later with a second. And we may not even have time to mention how the temperatures are going to look next week, and because it's definitely going to be bitterly cold, and we'll kind of explain all that a bit later.
Busy time of year for weather. Thanks,
sure.
Greg.
And don't forget, use the First Warn weather app to track the current conditions outside 24/7.
Developing now, La Crosse's Burns Park is officially back open.
News 8 Now's Allison Fergut is live with more on the surprise move. Allison.
The fences surrounding Burns Park came down around 11 this morning, and residents are hopeful that they'll stay down. After more than 3 months, La Crosse's Burns Park is open again. The city first fenced off the park back in September, citing dangerous behaviors happening there from both housed and unhoused individuals. In a release, the city outlined a monitoring plan, including sending a team out 5 times a week to connect with individuals in need and evaluate their situation. In a statement, Mayor Shondell Washington Spivey wrote, quote, "We are approaching this issue by continuing to engage, assess, and identify. With an increased presence in the public spaces, officers will engage if necessary, assess the situation, and identify if the solution requires enforcement of a law and/or assisting individuals to help them find resources in our community."
I think it's great.
La Crosse resident Charlie Tyson is happy to see the park open again.
Parks to be used by everybody, and they can't use them if they're not open.
He says that last time a few bad apples ruined the park for everyone, but he's not sure if those dangerous behaviors that closed the park will stop now.
I don't know if it'll change. I hope it does. You know, I guess I really hope that it changes for the better. If it doesn't, well, we don't know what to expect next time.
Now the fences around Cameron Park remain up. The city said they'll make a decision about Cameron Park depending on how things go here at Burns Park. Reporting in La Crosse, Allison Fergut, News 8 Now.
Thank you, Allison. A News 8 follow-up. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers is vetoing a bill to crack down on fake service animals. The bill would also allow housing providers to ask for proof of medical necessity. Evers says it's a move that would unfairly affect people with disabilities. 34 other states have similar laws.
The village of West Salem is quickly putting to use money from a government funding bill.
News 8 Now's Grace Monk explains where the money is going.
The village of West Salem has received $2.5 million from the federal government to help them construct a new public safety building. The village is working on plans for a new building that would house the police department. The police department's current building is 1,200 square feet. West Salem's police chief says having more space will allow them to upgrade technology, store equipment on site, and increase officer safety.
When we have people within the building, suspects and things like that, having secured areas is definitely going to be a plus.
The project is currently in its final design phase. Allo says they're hoping to break ground in the second half of 2026. Reporting in West Salem, Grace Monk, News 8 Now.
Amplify Health by Gunderson is working to prevent violence against healthcare workers. According to the Wisconsin Hospital Association, 44% of nurses have seen an increase in violence since the pandemic. Today, a panel brought healthcare leaders, legal experts, and law enforcement to address the issue. They discussed the legal process when violence is reported and resources available to victims.
the more we communicate, the better we all are. People who work in Amplify don't understand the criminal justice system and vice versa. And so it's good to have an understanding of what's going on in other people's systems so we understand when we get a case what's been happening, and they understand what happens when the case gets to us, what's going to happen, what involvement do they have, what information do we need.
In 2020, Wisconsin enacted a law making it a felony to cause harm to nurses or other medical care providers.
The Children's Miracle Network Holiday Basket Raffle is here. Each year, Amplify by Gunderson employees and local businesses create and donate baskets for the raffle. You can enter the raffle for $1 per ticket at La Crosse and Onalaska clinics, and all proceeds will benefit the Children's Miracle Network.
We have baking baskets, we have pizza baskets, we've got wellness baskets, we have a beginner's quilter basket. We even have a puzzle basket. So anything that you really could want, you should come to the CMN Holiday Basket Raffle for.
And for a full list of those baskets, we've got a link on news8000.com.
The Caring Closet cutting the ribbon on a new facility in Toma today. The nonprofit provides free clothes, toys, counseling, and more for foster kids and their families. Today, officials unveiled a new sensory room funded by a donation from the Weina Etzelmuller Trust.
Can touch things, they can move around, they can expend their energy, and they can do it in a more controlled environment and a positive environment. Because the children in need have those special types of requirements that allows them to, before they maybe go to a counseling session or after a counseling session, it's a reward to come here and just have a good time.
You can donate to the Caring Closet at caringclosetoftoma.org.
Bob Dylan is coming to the La Crosse Center. It's part of his Rough and Rowdy Ways tour. News 8 Now's Seth Padilla has the details.
The hype is huge, and local businesses are already preparing for Bob Dylan's arrival by stocking up on his merchandise. Business owners call Dylan a cross-generational musician. His worldwide tour will make its way here in March of 2026. At Deaf Ear Records, the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer's merchandise sells out quick. Right now, all they have in stock is one single CD.
It's one of the fastest selling titles we'll get in. All his stuff sells very quickly. You don't see artists of that magnitude come through the center terribly often. When they do, it's a treat.
Tickets go on sale this Friday. Prices range from $49.50 to $139.50. If you can't catch him in the La Crosse Center, you can catch him at Rockford, Illinois, as that's where his next stop is. Reporting in La Crosse, Seth Padilla, News 8 Now.
U.S. Cellular is teaming up with The Parenting Place, the retailer donating $5,000 worth of diapers, wipes, and snacks. You can get involved too by donating diapers at any local U.S. Cellular store.
And this is a program that we've had going for years, and it's really, really cool that now that we're a part of T-Mobile, that they share that same strong community partner vision, so that we could give back to The Parenting Place this holiday season, because they do so much to support the community.
The donation is one of 50 the company is making to nonprofits across the country.
It is Victory Monday for Packers fans. The team in first place after beating the Bears.
News 8 Now's Cade Overton breaks down what that means for the rest of the season. Cade.
Yeah, guys, not only was yesterday a big rivalry game for the Packers and Bears, it was a battle for the top of the division, and the game did not disappoint at all. The Packers took an 11-point lead into halftime, but the Bears would eventually battle back to tie the game with 8 minutes to play. However, Jordan Love and the offense put together maybe their best drive of the day, going down the field, leading to a Josh Jacobs go-ahead touchdown. The Packers win gives them a slight lead in the division, but with 4 games to go, including another head-to-head matchup, the division is far from being clinched, and it doesn't get any easier for Green Bay. In Week 15, the Packers will travel to Denver to take on the 11-2 Broncos, and then they'll have that rematch in Chicago against the Bears on December 20th. Ken, Emily.
All right, thank you, Cade. The president unleashing billions in farm aid. How much money and the farmers getting the money.
Plus, a holiday heads up, a warning for anyone who just bought a gift card.
Tomorrow, starting at 5 a.m., Arch is tracking snow and rain, an ugly sweater contest with a twist, and a holiday warning over gift cards. I'll see you starting at 5 a.m.
The White House giving a much-needed lifeline to farmers. President Trump wants to release $12 billion in aid. $11 billion would be broken down into one-time payments, and $1 billion would be held back to give to those farmers whose financial situations are still being assessed.
Farmers were crushed by the worst inflation in modern history and crippling restrictions on energy, water, and countless other necessities for farmers. And
the money is expected to move by February 28th.
A gift card warning for holiday shoppers. Thieves are draining cards at a faster rate. According to the Gift Card Fraud Prevention Alliance, criminals steal the unactivated cards, copy the numbers and PIN, then put them back on the rack. To stay safe, experts say make sure the PIN isn't exposed before buying the card. And bad news from a Federal Reserve study, more Americans are worried about their wallets. Many say their finances are much worse now compared to this time last year, and some felt they couldn't make a minimum debt payment within the next 3 months.
We will have more news ahead.
But first.
Yeah, we got a lot of messy commutes over the next several days. We'll kind of track out when to see rain, snow, or even freezing rain. Plus, we have some bitterly cold temperatures at the end of the week. We'll explain all that coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
In Japan, a wild scene, fish tanks shaking as an earthquake hits. The 7.6 quake hit in the northeastern part of the country. Tsunami warnings were up along the Pacific coast, but were later downgraded.
Well, over here we've got quite a wintry mess, as Greg put it earlier. So he's going to break that all down for us with what's headed this week for us.
Yeah, definitely is continuing to be active across our area, although still below average. Temperature-wise, we are going to see some temperature changes here over the next 24 hours and a lot of different types of precipitation, too. So over my left shoulder here, that's a system that's coming through right now. We're going to see that here the next, really tonight. To the west, that's a system that's going to be coming in and has a nice long fetch of moisture. So it's a milder, warmer system with it too that's really impacting the northwest with a lot of precipitation. That's the one that's going to be coming over later tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow night. So we got two systems really to track out here. For tonight, it's not going to mean a lot of precipitation snow-wise. And if you look throughout the night, the good news is if you don't like chilly temperatures, our temperatures are going to come back up tonight because we have a warm front that'll be coming across, and associated with that warm front is some light snow. So overall, you can see light snow spread across the area. It's going to be a short period of time, pretty much from about 7 p.m. to about 1 to 2. Most of this is probably going to be north and a better shot north of I-94, but this is going to be coming through. Note by 10 p.m. our temperatures above the 20-degree mark. We'll see continuing snow across Eau Claire northward and even up to Ladysmith. That'll continue to about 2 to 3. Meanwhile, rest of the area will just see cloud cover with temperatures rising all the way to 3 p.m. We're now in the mid-20s. By the time you wake up, we're going to be in the upper 20s for a lot of these areas too. So the morning commute, overall, we might have a little bit of snow on roads for area further north where they could pick up some snow. Further south, the only thing we might have to keep an eye on, because we could see a little bit of freezing drizzle maybe developing towards the morning commute area through southern areas. Don't expect a lot of precipitation with it, but that threat exists with the temperatures now in the mid to upper 20s. Snow amounts, as I mentioned, most of this is going to be further north, 1 to 2 inches. Further to the east, if you're west of the river, especially in northeast Iowa, you're not going to see much of anything with this. But once again, 1 to 2 and up to the north to Russ, they might get into that 2 to 3, but that's a very small chance of that pretty much developing. So that's one system. That doesn't hold too much of a punch. The next one gets more complicated because our temperatures are going to rise tomorrow. By the time we get to the afternoon time frame with that next system approaching, we're already near freezing south of I-90, less as you go further north. Now the precipitation is going to probably stay snow further north of I-94, but it's going to start changing, and it could be snow to rain. It could be a little bit of freezing drizzle too, or freezing rain. Before we get to the evening hour, past the morning commute, we'll start seeing some of this area turn to rain briefly. Snow will continue for northern areas, and then everyone will kind of see eventually a changeover to back to snow as we get later in midnight. So it's kind of a messy situation here, and it gets colder as we go into tomorrow. Wednesday morning commute, we'll start seeing the temperatures drop back below freezing, and everything will turn back to snow past midnight, along with some gusty winds for Wednesday behind this system. So snow amounts, it's really going to be further north that you're going to see it. 3 to 6, that could include a little bit of sleet too. This 1 to 3 could be sleet and snow issues. And then further south of La Crosse, not expecting a lot of snowfall. a little bit of freeze and drizzle, and maybe some rainfall too with it. As you look at the ice potential, and this is indicating 1 to 200. Not a lot of freeze and rain, but this is the threat area right there that you could see it between about 3 to 6 p.m. So we'll have to keep an eye on to see if that actually pans out. Travel impacts, that's the big thing for south of I-90. There's a possibility right there that we could see that position of freezing drizzle. Otherwise, it's going to be breezy as we get behind this system with a little bit of snow. So the snow is not the biggest story with this one. If you go further to north, that is where the snow is. North of I-94, there's a potential for a little mix right there, as I mentioned, for Saturday evening. Otherwise, the snow will kind of taper off after midnight. And then temperatures, as I said, they'll rise up to midnight and then we'll fall back towards Wednesday morning. So it's a complicated situation. We'll try to time it out better as we get to tomorrow. But in the meantime, as you look at all the activity going on, take note towards the end of the week and the weekend. They're well below 0 temperatures. In fact, we could see some teens and 20 belows going into Saturday and Sunday morning, and that's not without the wind chill. So we got some really almost dangerous cold coming up after all this activity.
Yeah, it looks like it could get pretty severe.
Yeah, it could be. So in the meantime, it's going to be quite messy, so just stay tuned with the weather app and keep informed with us about what's going on for tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, bundle up too.
Thank you, Greg. Coming up next, the story about a runaway reindeer named Buddy and a drone.
Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
A reindeer named Buddy has a new claim to fame.
He ran away from a recent Christmas event in England. It led to an hours-long search involving a drone and police. Buddy was eventually found on a beach and is back with its owner, unwillingly, obviously.
Of
He
course.
wanted to get away and go on vacation.
Yeah, he wanted to vacay before the busy Christmas night.
Oh, yeah, because he's got a lot ahead of him. Lots of work, lots of flying.
It's a lot of flying.
Lots of gifts to give out. I get it, buddy. Just wants to chillax for a minute.
We feel you.
All right, Greg has a final look at your forecast right after this.
Well, we got a lot going on for the next probably couple days and a half here, but we have light snow tonight. It could be some slippery roads, 1 to 2 inches further north you go towards the clear, better opportunity to see the light snow. The wintry mix Tuesday afternoon. It could be snow, rain, even a little bit of freeze and drizzle. It just depends on where you are. And then we have more rain Tuesday night and wind. And then the 8-day, we got cold temperatures
Whole
towards the
mess
end.
of things. Look at that. How do we keep track? We've got you, though. All right, thanks for joining us at 5.
We'll see you back at 6.